Hey friends, happy Wednesday, happy hump day. We made it to the middle of the week and the weekend is almost here. Welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. Let me just fix my Zoom a little bit. I feel like I'm a little close. So once you hop on the live or you hop on the replay at a later date, please feel free to say hi in the comments and to tell me where you're watching from. I happen to be in Central Kansas. I am live in 2 locations this evening. So if you hear me refer to a comment that is not in your feed, that person is probably watching on a different platform. And as always, if you like what you see during this project and you think that others should see it, please feel free to spread the craft love all over Facebook and YouTube. Not only does that help me, that also helps you. Also hit that heart, hit the thumbs up, hit the heart button. That does help me. That also helps you, because when you tell the algorithms that you like this kind of content by a thumbs up or a heart, or even sharing the video, then that tells the algorithm that you want to see more of this kind of stuff, and they'll start pushing more content like this out towards you, so that it helps both of us. So I appreciate that very much. And with that, let's go to the comments. Let me fix my, Jason is watching from the other side of the door. And I need to fix something really. I wonder if I can fix something on the fly. I can. Part of my screen, or my background, is showing there. I can fix things on the fly. With that, let's go ahead and flip the comments, or flip the camera, so you can see what we are doing. So by the thumbnail, you can see that we are making some cutting board pumpkins. So these are cutting board. I got this set of cutting boards from Aldi years and years and years ago. They were all green. I've kind of sanded as much of the green off as I can. This one is a retired Chalk Couture cutting board, and then this one is kind of another cutting board that I inherited when I purchased a Chalk Couture stash from a former designer. So we're going to use that as well. And with a little magic from some Chocolate paste and some assorted sizes of popsicle sticks, we're going to turn these cutting boards into pumpkins with some veining in them. So let's go ahead and get started. Pull my comments back up. Okay, so I have 3 sizes here. I just pulled out varying widths of popsicle sticks, and I need to decide whether I want to glue them on before I paint or after I paint. I think I'll go ahead and do it before I paint. That way that's just one less thing that I have to paint. So just want to get these. If you don't have craft sticks, you could probably use paint sticks, especially for these larger ones. I'm not for sure I can cut that one with my little handy dandy tool, so I'll leave that one out. Looks like I may need to get some more of the other sizes. So let me dig into my popsicle stick stash. Which I have a ton of random sizes. Just want to make sure I have enough of the different sizes. Those all the same. So I think we'll use, oops, I think that's probably plenty. Okay, so I might need a few more of the larger ones. So if I can find 3 more. Okay. I don't think I'll do all 6 on camera, but I just kind of want to show you. And I need a pencil. So I'm just going to lay these out and see approximately how many. I think I'll do 3. That's typically what we have on a pumpkin. So I'm going to hold this one down and I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to mark kind of where that goes, and we'll get one cut. So I have my marks, one on this end, one on this end. So I'm just going to mark. I've marked where they need to go, and I'm just going to use my little miter cutter to the I'm just going to squeeze. It doesn't always cut, but it at least scores it enough to where you can, sometimes you just have to squeeze. Not today, but if you pull up on the popsicle stick, it'll kind of pop it off. And then I'm going to need to, and then I just like to sand off kind of those rough edges. I think that'll be, oops, that was not a very good cut. Yeah, it was. Actually, it is. If I stick it right there. Okay, so that works. So then I'm going to cut off the other end. Technically, I'm just going to score the end. And then I'm going to use that on another popsicle stick. And we'll do the same thing. And on this middle one, I'm going to mark it down here. And then I'm just going to mark it on one end. And then I'm going to use this flat end to mark the straight edge up here. And that should work. Roughly. Oh, that one got it. Sometimes they'll cut well, sometimes they won't. Just got to show it who's boss. Not that one. That one is boss. So then let's just sand up those rough edges. I don't want any splinters. Okay. So this should go here. This one should go there. And then that one will, I think I got that one a little too short. I should have done the top part. But you know what? That's, I think that, yeah. Let's cut another one. I should have used the top part. Yeah, Jason says I'd have those things shooting all over the room. That does happen from time to time. Okay, so let's try that again. Only this time I'm going to use the top part. That does happen from time to time. So let's sand that and see if we got it any better. Let's do, I have a speaker set up tonight, so tell me if my volume, if my audio sounds any different, worse, better. Of course, I picked one that's a little cattywampus, but that's okay. Okay, so I have a mixture of, we'll have a mixture of hot glue and quick Type Bond Quick and Thick. This isn't the original container, but it's what I have. So let's get this one glued on. Maybe. So I'm mainly going to use this Type Bond glue, but I just want to, I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on just to help hold it down while it dries. Stick that in there so that it, hopefully, of course, it's not going to be on. Let's see. I'll just hold that down for a little bit. It'd help if it was any, it would help if it was even, Robin. Some of that glue up. Okay, so that one's on. Jason says the audio sounds the same. Well, that's good. I was worried it wouldn't work with that speaker, but it does. I was hoping it would, to use it as a microphone, but I don't think it works that way. There we go. I think I need to ask Santa Claus for a microphone. Okay, stick that on there. Okay, put this one on. Squeeze hard. So I may not end up using the hot glue at all. I need to find my little glue brush. I wonder where it went. Okay. Kind of stick that one near the center. It's still a little short, and my spacing's a little weird, but that's okay. Oops. Okay, we'll let that one set up, and then we'll go to the smaller one. I think that one's slightly warped, so I'm going to clamp it a little bit. That one's not wanting to. I think I need to get some more clamps out. We'll get them on there yet. Okay. There. Okay, let's go to the next ones. Hello, Miss Bonita. And some of these we may have to leave round. Oops, that one's longer. Okay, I don't need. Oh yeah, that's that one. Okay, I'm going to set those to the side because I don't need those. Let's see if there's any. This one's longer. So we are making pumpkins out of cutting boards. Okay, so I cut these down. These are the large popsicle sticks, and I cut them down. These I might need to a little bit, just a skosh. I think I'm going to cut them down on the bottom, but I don't need to cut them down a lot. Okay. Like just an eensy little amount. And then I'm just trying to get that round top to be even with the curve of the cutting board. And then I think I'll just leave that one. Okay, so we hardly have to cut those at all. Mainly just want them to be flat so that if somebody wants to lean the cutting board up against the wall or up against something, it lays flat. Perfect. Okay. So we'll get those glued on. How are you doing, Miss Bonita? Okay, let's just add a skosh. Ooh, that was way more than a skosh. Okay, let's hope that helps me keep that down. Okay, so we'll glue this one on. Ooh, it's so hard to squeeze. And then a little dollop of glue. Okay, stick that one. Oops. Get all that glue off. Didn't get it in the right place. And then we'll glue this one down and we'll move on to the little one and then we can paint. Okay. Hopefully that's enough glue. And this one, because I can scooch it up, I'm not terribly worried about cutting the bottom of that one off. It would probably look better if they were all squared off at the bottom, but there is our second pumpkin. Now we'll bring in these little dies. That one's warped. Okay. I think we'll stick with 3 on this one. Okay, so I'm just turning it over. Oops. And making a mark. So I can mark those 2 and then over. So that's going to be right up there. And that one will be right there. Actually, I can use this one for all 3 of them. Benita says she's good. Should be packing up to go to the kids tomorrow, but decided that I was the priority. Well, thank you. Packing shouldn't take but 30 minutes. You're so indecisive. I am too. That's why I probably end up taking more stuff than I should. I'm definitely an overpacker, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. And if in my head I think an outfit looked cute and then I get there and it didn't, I have options. A girl should always have options. Well, I appreciate you being here. And I apologize, I've been so hit or miss, but One of these days, maybe I'll figure things out. Okay, so let's, yeah, I probably should have squared that other one off, but oops, something didn't work. We'll put that one in the middle, I think. Okay, that works. Anita, she totally agrees with my packing. Uh, what's the word? Methodology. Rationale was the word I was wanting, I think. So the color, just some quick updates. The color of the month sold out yesterday, and my apologies for not giving you all any warning. Um, I also want to let you know that I just want to remind you that the Chocolatour Peanuts Autumn transfers that um, released last Thursday, there are no reorders on those. So if you're wanting any of the Autumn Peanuts collection, one has already sold out, and they aren't doing any restocks of those. So if you want to get those, get them now. Also, I don't know if there's any restocks on the Holiday Home collection that also launched last Thursday, or was it Friday? No, it was Friday. So you might want to check those out, because I can't guarantee that the Holiday Home things aren't being restocked either. But I know for certain that the Peanuts Autumn transfers are not restocking. And they are stinking cute. I should get mine. Mine are supposed to be here on Saturday. I think this one would have been cuter with wider veins, but it's okay. Since it's kind of a chubbier pumpkin, this will work. That over there. Okay. There's my, looking for my lid. Okay, I think we're ready to paint these three, and then I will finish the rest off camera. I'm going to turn my glue gun off for now. Get this stuff out of the way. Ooh. I don't know why I sit here all morning, or I sit here in the morning and get ready, and my feet are fine, but I sit here at night and my foot goes to sleep. Riddle me that. I don't understand. Readjust. Okay, I'm going to bring in some cardboard. We'll get these three painted. So I pulled out Marigold, which I believe was a color of the month last month. I also pulled out Marmalade, which is a new on vogue color, and I pulled out Lagoon. I thought those would be really pretty pumpkin colors, but you could go with the whole Pinkoween and do like Dream Color or Raspberry Sorbet. I actually thought I was pulling out Hey Pumpkin, which, dang, those are close colors. Let's do Hey Pumpkin instead of Marigold. Hey, Miss Ashley. Okay, so let's get 3 paintbrushes and let's do this taller one in marigold. Or marmalade. Do I have one that's open? Surely I have one that's open. Nope. Have I not used to that color yet? Cray. Okay, well, I thought I'd used it already. Fun. Okay, so I've got some distilled water in case I need it. I'm just going to spray it in the lid. I'm going to get my paintbrush just slightly wet. I'm going to pick up some of the paste. Yes, you can paint with paste. I don't do it often just because I have so much paint already, but I figured I would tonight. It dries super quick. It has the best texture and smoothness when it dries. That's not, texture and smoothness do not go together, but it's kind of like buttery smooth when it dries, especially after you wax it. It does sometimes take 2 coats, but because it dries so fast, that's not that big of a deal. So quiet. The air conditioner kicked off. Now I can hear myself think. Oops, probably not in frame. Okay, let's see. If we can get this first coat dry. Smooth it out a little bit. Okay, lay that one down. I'm just going to pop the lid just gently on. Okay, let's move to Hey Pumpkin. I believe this is still a color. Guess I should have checked that. And you know what? I bet I forgot to update the cart link. Oops. There are links for most of the for some of the promos in the description of the video. I did also update my website today. I hate to admit that it had been literally 2 years since I'd updated anything. So if you go to my website at robinseggluecreations.com, and you'll see in the top navigation, it says crafty 411. So I posted, Square has this, when you build a Square website, it has this thing called stories. It's kind of like it's their version of kind of a blog. So I put all of the August promos there. So if you want to look at them in one posting, and they include links. So I'm just going to paint the sides. I'll get the backs later. We'll worry about that off camera. You don't need to watch that much paint dry. Just going to get something to help me hold that. Maybe. Okay. That one will definitely need a second coat. Okay, we'll let that dry. Who's ready for the 80-degree weather next week? Raise your hand in the comments if you are ready. This girl is ready. The air conditioner at our office has not worked for most of the summers, which it hasn't been. I shouldn't complain because it's not been terrible. As long as I don't move a whole lot and I sit in front of my fan. I'm pretty comfortable. But it'll be nice to have some cooler weather. In fact, dang, it's only 86 right now. Benita says, me. You've probably been watching a lot of baseball this summer. I'm glad Dane chose bowling and that it was an indoor sport. I could not have, yeah. I mean, I would have, but it wouldn't have been very fun. So I was going to try to go live on Instagram as well. And I maybe could have, but they only let you go live for an hour. And with the streaming platform that I use, it said that Instagram would kick me off after an hour. And if I was multi-streaming, I would be kicked off of all of the platforms after an hour. And since I am notorious for long lives, I didn't really want to chance that. So, and I also need to try going live on TikTok, but I'll have to have a second device for that. Well, I'd still have to have a second device for Instagram comments, but so we'll see. That one's going to need a few coats. Okay, so let's come back. That one's not quite dry. So let's use our quick dry tool. quick dry tool, but I wish the cord was just a little bit longer. Like, that's as far as it goes. I think I'm going to leave that one that way, I think. It's not terrible. I'm going to do some distressing and some inking, so I think that'll be okay. So I think I'll leave that one the way it is. Let's, just so that my brushes don't turn hard. I think we'll just focus on the orange one just to save time. Benita says, girls fast pitch is what's on the agenda for this weekend. Thank heaven the girls are finally on the same team this year. Okay. So I will finish the other two sometime. But let's focus on the orange one just to save a wee little bit of time. Okay, so hopefully, oops, let's set this out of the way. Hopefully nothing comes crashing down. Gotta get some paint off of my fingers. So I'm excited to get some of my chalk spot surfaces this weekend. So that is the equivalent to like the Dollar Tree or the Bullseye Playground at Target. It's thinner materials, better price point, but from what I've heard, they paint phenomenally well. So we'll have to play with that stuff this weekend. Okie doke. Where did I put it away? So let's do a little bit of sanding. And you could pull out some of the Chocateur tags, the chalk chips, the new dollar or chalk spot gift tags would be cute on here. Gotta get the big daddies out. So I'm just gonna do quite a bit of sanding. I'm gonna try to get the edges of these veins. And then we did all that work to paint, and now look what we're doing. Get in here. Okay. That's not doing the darn tube thing. that work, and that won't even come off. Okay, well. Oh, that's pretty smooth on that popsicle stick. It doesn't want to. There we go. Get some of that gone. Okay, she's all. So I got her pretty good and distressed. And I think I was gonna use my inks, but I think just go ahead and use the Dixie Belle Best Dang Wax in brown. It just works a little better for me. You can either put it on with a t-shirt, or sometimes I just use my finger. And I'm not the best at this. I probably use too much or not enough, I don't know. Get these spots where I kind of sanded off some of the paint. Make it look like that pumpkin's been sitting out in that field for a while. Scrunch up the edge. Okay. Oh yeah, she's super grunty. Look at that. Okie doke. So I just used an old t-shirt. So now let's just add a bow. That's gonna look funny on my nice fancy fabric. Okay, let's get some scissors. I'm gonna put these down so I hopefully don't clank my scissors all over the place. So I just pulled some fabric scraps from my stash. It's probably a little too bright. All of those would work. I probably won't use that one just because it's too close to the color. So let's just use maybe, let's just use those three. They don't really go together. We'll make them go together. So sometimes I buy fat quarters, sometimes I buy remnants. And I don't cut anything. Well, thanks, Jason. He says he says you're so stinking talented. Nope, I just watch a lot of videos. Cut off that selvage edge. We'll cut that one into fourths. I do cut these in apart. I don't know if I want any more. This one was a fat quarter, I believe, from the Hoblob. So you just tear it and you'll end up with a ton of strings, but that's kind of fun. Okay, I could add some of this cream in there that I'm supposed to be using. Hey, I have some right there. Cut a few more. Oops. Rita says ripping fabric is so stinking therapeutic. Yes, yes it is. Yes it is. Oops. You just tear them. Again, you'll end up with a lot of strings, but it is okay. I'm going to go ahead and cut these little selvage pieces off. I'll cut those in half again. And we should be good. Okay, let's get some twine. And I probably have a ton of scrap pieces here. I think I'll turn my glue gun on. Use at least one of these pieces. Okay, so I'm going to lay out a piece of twine. It's kind of curly. And then I'm just going to start layering these pieces. And I know I'm putting them upside down, but I'm doing that on purpose. Oops. Some of it doesn't matter, but some of it does. So I'm just kind of alternating. I don't have to use all of them, but that piece there. And we don't have this fabric going this way yet. Do some going this way. think I'm just going to loop that like that. And we're going to loop that like that. I'm doing it the lazy way, not even getting my Bodabra out. Let's see if this works. This might be pretty goofy. Okay. Save these for later. I'm going to find my ends. I'm just going to tie it. And then I think I'm going to cut my twine pieces so they'll kind of hang out. And that, my friends, is a very messy bow. Okay. So I think I'll just have to paint around it. I think I'm going to glue this on the back. If you have a multi-tool, they make a great glue gun tool because they are heat resistant. So I'm just going to wrap this around. Oops, sorry. It's going to end up almost perfect. Benita says, girl, where's your Bodabra? I'm doing it the easy way. It is over on the shelf, but this works. It worked for me. And then I think you can either tie it on, you could glue it on. I think we'll just tie it on. And then I'll just have to paint around everything. Let's see if that's tight enough. I think it's going to need like a tag or something, but it's still super cute. Some of them are a little long. Cute little pumpkin, especially out of some cutting boards out of my stash. God bless you. Jason just sneezed. Okay, super fun. I can't wait to see all the extra colors. So there is our cute little pumpkin. I think I'm going to add maybe some sort of little tag. I don't quite know yet. I just need to look through either my transfer stash or my stencil stash and kind of see what I got going on. Bonita says she loves the messy bow. Thank you. Jason says it's adorable. So yeah, it's definitely messy, but that's kind of how I like it. I like using fabric versus ribbon. It's a little bit more forgiving. It's a heck of a lot less expensive. But yeah, that's going to be cute. And so then to see our other two, I've got to reach over here. So we'll have a one that's done painted in Hey Pumpkin and one that's painted with Lagoon, but I've got to add I don't necessarily have to add a few coats. I guess I could sand where all those light patches are. There's a few spots I've missed, but so I'll get these painted. I almost think I need to add more veins to that. What do you guys think? Should I add a few more? This one's warped, but would a few more veins look better? I think so. I think I might add a few veins to that one. I think it'll look better. It looks a little sparse right now. So I will do that. Get it repainted. But yeah, Benita does agree a small tag would be cute. And it would be just kind of hanging. Or even just some, a little bead dangle would be cute too. Just something. Some leaf cutouts. Yeah. It's a little lopsided. I don't know why my bow is so lopsided on, but that's okay. I think it turned out cute. If you happen to make some of these, post them up, tag Robin's Egg Blue Creations. You like the warped vein, this little warped popsicle stick. It looks like he's been laying on that side for a little too long. But yeah, I'll add some more veins to this one and we'll get these two all done up. But if you happen to make some, I want to see them, post them up, tag me. Or you can always post them in my free group, the Robin's Egg Blue Creations Crafty Collab. I think I have a link for that. It's in the Smart Bio link listed in the description of the video, so check that out. I have a bunch of ideas coming up, friends, so I just have to find the energy for getting them done. So just be checking my page for when I'm going to go live again. But I'm going to try really hard to do Monday, Wednesday, and a weekend. So cross your fingers, say some prayers, and I greatly appreciate you hanging out with me this evening. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.